Welcome back to Canyon Professional Development's Wednesday webinar. My name is Tyler Heckel, and we're so excited to have Judah Floyd, Student Body President. Judah, how is it going?
I'm doing great, Tyler. Thank you for having me. Like you said, I'm Judah Floyd, Student Body President. I get to serve the greatest student body in the world of the largest private university. Thanks for having me on.
I am so excited that you're here. You did say not the cool thing, but one of the cool things. You are Student Body President, but fill me in more about your background. Where are you from? What's your major? What brought you to GCU?
These are excellent questions. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, a desert town. So I'm a desert boy at heart, so I had to keep it in the Southwest. So Phoenix was a natural fit. And GCU just aligns with my cultural values. And also my high school pool color was purple, so
just kept the closet.
All the same merch.
Yeah, that's
which is great. I'm studying business. I have a minor in biblical studies, which is awesome. And I'm excited to be here, Student government is a unique beast to tackle, but I used to tackle freshmen as an RA in the Grove, so I feel like I'm ready for it. So
we'll talk about student government in a second. I want to first talk about another thing that you are. I heard you just got a promotion. You are in the Honors College. What's your role in that?
The Ingram Honors College. There's never been a better time to be an honors student.
So true.
I'm now the Chief Engagement Officer for the Honors College, which is great. So I do external and internal events that are high visibility. So I will speak. I meet with donors. It's really an awesome opportunity. Anyone who's in the Honors College, there's so much more to offer than what's on the brochure. Get involved. Send emails. Just throw yourself out there and you get to be included in so many things.
I think that leads us into the first question, right? When I'm talking, my cousin, she's going to be a freshman at GCU.
Congratulations.
I was like, yo, go join the Honors College. I'm going to have to follow up on that. But I was telling her, join the Honors College, and she's like, why? Isn't that just harder classes? What is the Honors College?
I'm glad you mentioned this because I think it's the biggest misconception of the Honors College. Are we academically rigorous? Sure, but I don't think that's what defines us. What defines us are people of high character. We're service-oriented. We're community-oriented. But really, we're trying to pursue excellence. And for me, that really lines up with my own faith journey. I'm a strong Christian, and I've seen the Honors College do it. But they're here to support you as a student. So if you have an idea, initiative, you want to start a business, you want to run a program, you want to do something to impact fellow students, the Honors College will partner with you on almost every occasion. So this last year, I had an idea for a research project on what it meant to be a student leader. And so I partnered with the Honors College. We did a formal research study that was, IRB approved. And then I got to go present my research at a national convention in Florida. Which is great. We won
crazy
first place,
for
by the way.
Congratulations. Amazing for your resume, helping you build for your future, which is something the Honors College offers. And I think what's something super cool that the Honors College offers is research opportunities for high school students.
Absolutely.
That's something we partner with K-12. If you're a high school student and you're super interested in research, come down to GCU. We'd love to partner with you with other undergrads as well as professors. And I think that is an amazing opportunity.
That's great. And I went to the research symposium this last semester. Huge. Hundreds of GCU students, but also we had high school students there who were presenting. They're getting feedback from deans, professors, doctors in various fields, and so it's really a great rate of exposure. And more than being a resume booster, which doing all these things is great for the resume, I think it builds a lot of character. It adds a lot of internal value. It has a lot of impact in the community. So my own research has had an impact on GCU and the way that we structure student leadership here.
Oh, okay. And we talked about a lot of the Honors College is for leadership.
Absolutely.
And how do you think it's developed your leadership skills? Obviously, you're a student body president. So some might say you're a great leader.
That's a great question. From my very first day on campus, I got scooped up. I joined the Leadership in Action Fellowship, which is some of the bright minds of the Honors College where we come together and they give us projects. So one of our first projects was I was on the Corporate Connect task force, which has since been absorbed into another group. But we got to go to an Amazon distribution center. We invited 40 other students from GCU to come. We got to showcase the logistics of running that and how we as students can get involved in those kind of opportunities early. We hosted a service month. And so we partnered with 8 different nonprofits across the valley where we were able to connect students who wanted to serve, who were willing to serve, and organizations that needed people who were ready. And so it was a great opportunity for our groups to come together, us and the manpower, them with the logistics, and serve some of the disenfranchised group here in the Valley.
Service is a huge thing in my life, but I think it's super easy to take service and think those big things, right? Oh, I'm going overseas on a mission trip. I am spending an afternoon at a local charity helping out, which is obviously incredible. But what do you think service looks like on an average Tuesday when you're walking to class, or just on the normal small occasions?
I'm wondering, because life is the Tuesdays. The vice president, Gracie Zimbardi, and I, when we first started partnering together, we had this prayer where we were like, what are our core values? And the first core value that we came to was actually service.
Okay.
And there are the flashy, like, we went to Uganda, which is great, and I fully support that. But like you said, it's the everyday, and I think part of that is leading by example. Mm-hmm. As a leader, doing the jobs that no one else wants to do. Yeah. Putting the work, like, if I'm asking you to follow me on an initiative, to buy into my plan, I gotta show you how much I care on my own 2 feet. So I think that's a big part of it, like appreciating your team and how far they've come in every step of the way.
Yeah, I think that rings true, obviously, for honors college student government, but just in life as a whole. I know in your K-12 classrooms, right? If you're asking your students to do something, you have to lead by the example. Or if you're an administrator, hey, how can I help my teachers out by doing the things they might not want to do? So I think what you said rings true in all facets.
Yeah, and I had a teacher in high school who demonstrated this so well. Mm-hmm. She would always find little ways to serve other students in class. And so one day we hosted a pizza party that was just us students, and some of the kids didn't have money to contribute, and she paid with her own money. Yeah, help us cover the cost.
And they don't get paid a lot.
They don't get paid a lot. So shout out my 8th grade teacher. She was great.
Let's move on to, obviously, one of the cool things is that you're in student government. In preparation for this interview, I was reading some articles. One of the articles I read was most college students feel disconnected from their student government leaders. How are you going to work to make sure the students that you serve feel connected to your message and what you're going to do?
Tyler, this is a very pointed question, but thank you for asking that. I would disagree. I'm not hot take, disagree. I think for me, as someone who doesn't come from student government, I didn't do student government the last couple of years. I joined as an outsider. I ran as an outsider. I come from residence life. I come from freshman housing. And I hope that students can see that authentically I'm just another everyday student.
Yeah.
I don't see student government as this exclusive group. I see it as we're here to serve all different aspects of the university. And so Gracie and I went to Washington, D.C. for the summer celebration. Yeah. And we partnered with student body presidents from across the country. 100 universities were represented, and got to hear their ideas of how they can serve their students. Okay. And so a big part of our initiatives this year is engaging our Senate. We have a Senate team of 10 different senators, one for each of our colleges on campus. And they're going to be positioned in dormitories and residence halls throughout the year to gather feedback from students, hear suggestions, and really give us a pulse check of, hey, what is the student body feeling? When an issue comes up on campus, when the higher powers that be have an idea or an initiative, how are the students feeling about this? Yeah. So a big part of that is the AI policy that GCU is rolling out. Mm-hmm. It's in development, and a huge part of it is the student feedback. Okay. So Gracie and I have got to meet with different student groups on campus. We've got to meet with different academic groups. So we're actually preparing some documents that we're giving, hey, this is what students feel about how AI should be implemented at our university.
What have you noticed? What do the students feel how AI should be used?
That's great. There's a lot of diversity depending on which college you're in. We got people in the College of Education who are hey, how can we help this build our lesson plans? We got people in the College of Business who are my employees are all going to be AI bots. And then we also have the College of Theology, which is AI is bad at theology, and we should be very careless about embracing it fully. And so it's great to hear those different feedbacks and learn that it's a very nuanced issue depending on what angle you come.
We could talk about AI and education for an hour, because I feel people's opinions are so, what you said, diverse. I know I'm going on the internet, and if someone posts something with AI, delete this, don't use AI, don't use AI.
I'll tell you where I don't want to see AI is the artwork. Yeah. I want to see students' art.
Yeah, obviously, as a teacher, I also don't want it to be used to cheat, right? I don't want my student write me an essay on The Great Gatsby. No, like, you know, you can use it to help you. You can use it to maybe peer review your work, which might be a hot take for some, but obviously we don't want.
Yeah, where are we drawing the line between AI collaboration and AI scandal?
That is a good question. Like, hey, if it comes up with, I don't know, a thesis for you, like, is that a good thing? Even if you're writing the whole essay, I'm not the final judge on it. I like to lean on the side of maybe don't use AI as much as you possibly can. I do use it for my lesson plans. Admittedly, like lesson plans stink.
You heard it here first, folks.
Use AI in lesson plans. But I do know AI is a huge initiative for the university. Like, we want to be on the cutting edge of that science. I know
we're going to develop students who are AI literate.
Yes.
But we also know that we have a moral and religious body of students.
Yeah.
So we're teaching them to use it with academic integrity. We're teaching them to use it in good faith. And we're teaching them to use it efficiently. Mm-hmm. And so I think GCU kind of stands out from universities across the country as not only a pioneer in making sure that our curriculum is AI adept, but actually we're equipping students to be more effective in the workforce.
Well, this is a spoiler. Future episode, we're talking about AI literacy. Stay tuned for that. But and then obviously, I don't know how many students live on campus. It's like 20,000.
We have 26,000 on-ground traditional students.
Okay.
We have about 16,000 that live on campus, and so that actually GCU is the largest university-owned housing in the nation, which is really cool. So our residence life department, our housing department are some of the biggest in the nation.
Yeah. So 27,000 students around. How do you work with so many students who may not agree with you? How do you, as a leader, work through that?
That's a great question. We keep our comment sections open, so we get to hear some of the nasty and a lot of the praise too, which is cool. I think it helps keep us grounded. Mm-hmm. The door in Building 26, we're right there. 26-100 is our office. We welcome any students to stop by and speak to me directly. You can follow us on Instagram at ASGCU. Follow me on Instagram, and you can just shoot me a DM. One of my favorite things to do is to sit down and talk to students one-on-one or in small groups and hear about some of their concerns. It's honestly where I get some of my best ideas. Like I was talking to a student the other day about he was complaining that the pickleball lights were turning off too early. And I was like, that's something we can
get
do.
on that.
Send one email, pickleball lights will turn on until 11:30. Like
that.
A lot of things.
You are doing the good work as a pickleball fan myself.
Oh yeah, of course.
Huge.
And so we love to hear feedback from students, critical and positive. Because that's how we do better at our jobs.
I like to hear that. So we're going to shift a little more to educator focus. The topic of today's video is the importance of extracurricular education. Yeah. You're Mr. Extracurricular.
I'm familiar with extracurriculars.
You do so many extracurriculars. What percentage of who you are, what you've learned in your time in college comes from you sitting in a classroom versus all the other honors college, student government stuff that you do?
I'd say 60% of what I learned is stuff in my roles as an RA, as student body president, as an officer in the honors college. Those things have given me so much experience. Like leading out an intramural team, that gives me a lot of experience.
I'll hit you up.
Okay, good.
I love intramural, so.
But I can't stress enough how important the classroom is.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get a lot of the technical, hard skills. I'm developing a lot of soft skills and leadership in those other areas, but you can't do that without the basics. And I think that's what a lot of people get caught up in, I'm here to network. But the piece of paper is also important.
Yeah,
and your little GPA number is also important.
Yeah.
So I encourage students to work hard, play hard. If you're going to spend the time to be at university for 4 years, get the most out of it educationally, but also extracurricular.
Yeah, I'm sure your employer wants someone who knows how to communicate with people and network.
Absolutely.
I'm also sure they want an employee who knows how to do the thing they were hired for.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm going into auditing, and if you don't know all the rules and laws that are part of that, you're going to be passing people on audit. That shouldn't be passed.
It's so funny. I agree. I think they work in tandem to each other. I think extracurriculars are there to fill the gaps of what you learn in the classroom. And I think it teaches so much about responsibility, about communicating with others. So I do think they go hand in hand.
And can I add one thing to that?
Of course.
That people use this term work-life balance. and this might be a hot take, I don't believe in work-life balance. I think when God created Adam and Eve, they had roles and work before sin ever entered the world, tended the garden. And so I really feel like my work is my passion, so I love to be involved, I love to see things done, and maybe I sleep less than the average student. I don't believe that to be true. I think our students don't sleep often, and I encourage them in that. Like, we're only here for such a short time. 40% of our students are graduating in less than 3 years. Get the most of your time here. Don't sleep. Go on that random road trip. Take on that extra project. Add that minor for some reason. Like, take advantage of every opportunity that you have.
I was thinking about the other day because obviously we're getting time. We're going to be graduating soon, and I was like, once I graduate, hey, my life's over. Like, I'm just working for the rest of my life. Like, let me live it up while I'm young. That's so funny. So obviously you are in a role of engagement in the Honors College.
Yes.
If I am a high school teacher, if I am a middle school teacher, what are some ways that you would work to engage your students to partake in extracurriculars?
It's a great question. My favorite thing as a student, and this is crazy, I love presentation day.
Okay.
Presentation is my favorite thing.
Another hot take.
It is, to me, the epitome of learning verification and mixing of hard skills and soft skills. Because you have to know your stuff. You can't give a presentation about a subject that you don't know about well.
It's true.
But also you have to have the soft skills of being able to deliver that. And I think in the age of AI and there's so much inauthenticity, being able to present something as a person to another person is authentic. And I think it's a great way to keep people engaged. I always have fun, like when my friends are giving a presentation, I'm like, want to ask a hard question, I want to keep them on their toes.
Keep them on. I think, this is my opinion, obviously coming from a teacher, I think the highest level of knowledge that you can demonstrate is being able to teach. So on those presentation days, when you have your students teaching to other students, that shows mastery of content more than probably a test would, because not only do you have to know it, you have to be able to know it in a way to explain it to various different people. So I do like that opinion that, hey, if you want to get students engaged, get them teaching. And then, I mean, you talked about it earlier. A lot of the things I've talked with students, hey, I'm too busy to join a club. What do you say to that student?
You're too busy not to join a club. It's so important. People who join clubs, that's how you network. So, like, I know a lot of kids that are in the finance club. If you're in the finance club, you're getting exposure to employers. Your GPA can be whatever it is. If you don't know employers, how are you going to get that job? And sometimes they're going to take the kid with a little bit lower GPA if they have a little bit more of a personal relationship. So clubs are important, not only employment-geared clubs, but also like clubs for fun. If you love dance, join a dance club. If you love a specific sport, join that club. I think that's really important. I think it's part of living a full life. The Lord wants us to have these different experiences, and I think there's so many ways to outreach people, to share your story if you join these clubs.
I think even just in life in general, like my brother's applying for med school, and he was the president of a powerlifting club. But even that is like, that's good for your resume.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm a leader. I was able to work with various people. I was able to show organization. Like, even those clubs that, like what you said, are just for fun, still work on those soft skills, networking, communication, and I think that's so important.
And you know, that's a standout because how many applicants were also present at the college club? They've heard from 100 candidates who are like, I have 400 clinical hours. Which was really exciting. My sister applied for medical school. This was years ago, but she got in.
Shout out her.
The thing that she talked about the most in her interview was her job. She took a summer job in Alaska at a fish factory, like packaging.
That's the dream.
And no one else in the applicant pool had done that. So it was like something really interesting and unique that she got to bring into those interviews.
I think that's a lot of what we're talking about, balancing, hey, what do you learn in the classroom with also all these extracurriculars, and I think that really shapes your education into a whole.
Absolutely.
Now we're moving on to what I would say is my favorite segment. So this is what we call back to the classroom. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to give a hot take, and then the other person decide if you're going to go back to the classroom, or if the hot take is not valid, it gets sent straight to the principal's office. So do you want to go first, or
let me hear something.
Okay, so this is super ironic, first off, because I'm saying this on a podcast right now. I'm saying this to someone who might be watching on an Instagram reel,
Shout out reels.
but I think teachers have gotten too comfortable posting on social media.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen videos, the ones that really bug me are the teachers who are like, here are 10 things that my students said that were stupid this week. And it's like, first off, if your student was sincerely asking a question and you're shaming them for content, probably not what you want to be doing as a teacher. And then secondly, if you have Mr. Class Clown Jokester who's asking silly questions to kind of get attention, get laughs, get reaction, you posting that is just going to want to encourage them to do it more.
Yeah.
Because then they're going to be like, hey, all these people are commenting on my joke. Like, I'm going to start doing that more often. I think
This is a
posting
good
on
take.
social
This is a good
media
take.
has gone a little too far. Or when they set the tripod up in class.
No, we got to keep these kids' lives private. I think one of the things I loved about growing up in the age that I did is people were not on their phones as much.
Yeah.
Even like 10 years ago when I was in elementary school. Hashtag Unk. And we made mistakes. We said dumb things.
Yeah.
You know, if that's on video and it's being posted to the whole world, you got to carry that for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
I said and did plenty of dumb things that I don't need the world to know about. I think we got to protect kids and have school be a place where it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to say dumb things. It's okay to have that corrective atmosphere.
Yeah.
And if you're publishing all the dumb things your kids say in the classroom, then it maybe makes them not as open to have those important discussions.
Top 10 things that my students said that were thought-provoking or smart. Like, I think obviously negativity and these things.
And I miss the days when we used to believe that teachers lived at the school.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
And they didn't exist outside of that context.
And also, I'm not trying to say my take that I don't think teachers should have social media. It's more like the branded.
Can we ban all teachers from Instagram reels?
it's like the branded where Mr. Heckel's social media that I'm posting like my top 10 things my students did this week that annoyed me. Like, I think that goes too far. If you want to post, hey, these are my teacher hacks, and it's for other teachers, I think that's an amazing tool, and I think that's an amazing way to build community and work together to improve your craft. I think when we're focusing on things that students did and students' action, that's when I'm turned off by it. What do you think? Am I going back to the classroom, or am I going to the principal's office?
You're going back to the classroom.
I appreciate that.
Back to the classroom.
You know what's funny? We do this a lot, and I think this is one of my first back to the classrooms. I get sent to the principal's office quite a bit with my takes.
You should write that down.
It's funny. I get texts about it. Hey, I heard your take. I'm like, well, what's that about? So
Tyler is going back to the classroom.
we're going back to the classroom for this one. Okay, Judah, what is your hot take?
Great question. My hot take, I want to take us back to the 80s. Ban all cell phones from classrooms. No 5th grader, 6th grader, 8th grader needs an iPhone at all in the classroom. It's distracting. We got to be paying attention. We got to learn the basics in the classroom. The iPhone doesn't help with that.
Do you think students should be allowed to have their computer to do work, or do you just want to go no technology in the classroom?
Ooh, it's a great question. I think learning how to type is important, but maybe we can type like starting in 8th grade or something, and before that, no. I think learning how to write is important.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's just so easy for kids to be distracted, get overstimulated. Like, the less technology during those beginning years, the better.
Developmental period. Judah, I'm gonna have to say, your take is sending you back to the classroom.
Thank goodness.
I see the struggle of phone addiction in the classroom. You also see it in your personal life. You have to lunch with friends. All 4 of you are on your phone. Like, it is such an issue. And school is a great 8 hours a day to, hey, let's get off the phone. Let's curb that smartphone addiction and focus on education. So I 100% agree. I think it is an amazing take. I also think it's funny. The other honors college guest I had was also anti-computer in the classroom. So we got anti-computer in the classroom, anti-phone in the classroom.
I'd love to hear this. Let me tell you, the honors college, we're here about the principles.
We're
Open
here.
your heart to learning, okay?
And no technology here in the honors college. I'm going to let you, for this last 30 seconds, talk straight to the camera.
Hi, camera.
Those are your constituents. Those are the GCU students. 30 seconds, what's your message to them? What are you going to do so they can know that you're here for them?
Hey, Lopes. I love you. My heart goes out to you. So excited for this next year. It's going to be great. I want you to remember, as we go through these challenges, that we keep our core values as a university close at hand, that we're here to serve each other. We're here to build a strong community. We're here to achieve excellence academically, professionally, in all aspects of our life. So, Lopes, keep it up. Keep up the strong work. It's going to be a great year. Excited to see you at Welcome Week.
Excited to see you at Welcome Week. Judah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out Canyon Professional Development Solutions to Go, we have all your professional development needs. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Tyler. Lopes up.
Lopes
Lopes
up.
out.